I have no words. This book is wow. This is one of the coolest books I've ever read. I don't think I've hauled it yet, so there, The Martian. What to say about this book? This book is so amazing. I read this one. I took my time reading it. It has, let's see, how many pages? 369 pages. And I managed to read it and enjoy it. I never thought a book that I just picked up out of nowhere, I just wanted to try it, see what the hype was about. My God, this book is amazing. I could see why it has so many awards or acknowledgments of people reading it, saying it's one of the best books they've ever read. This book is about a Martian or astronaut Martian, whatever you want to call it, who lands on Mars with his team, and they leave him behind because there's this windstorm that picks up the dirt. They lose him because all the dirt flying around blocks the sight of everybody that's like trying to go back into the ship, and they lose him, and something hits him and knocks him out like unconscious for a while. The dirt's starting to cover him, and he's blinded by all this. He doesn't know what's going on because he's unconscious. His team has no choice but to leave him behind, go back into the ship, and leave him on Mars. He's not dumb. He's a botanist, and he figures out that he can do it. You know, he's like, of all people you can leave on Mars, you leave the botanist. The botanist has the potential to plant stuff and make sure he has enough food to live on Mars, and that's what this whole book is about, his survival. And I enjoyed every minute of it. Oh my God, he's very smart. You don't realize it until you're reading all this stuff, and it's funny because NASA is talking to him. He figures out a way to talk to them because they leave this rover behind or something like that, I don't remember. And he manages to hook it up so that he can talk to Earth again, to NASA. NASA's telling him to do all this stuff, and he's like, okay, really? No, I'm not gonna listen to you guys because you have no idea how smart I am. I already did all this stuff and you guys don't understand. He's like, I did it already. You guys are showing me the wrong way, some way that could probably get me killed or have me have no food, and you know, it's not worth it. So what he does is he ignores them and he does his own thing. He survives and he eats potatoes for like a couple of years. So what I remember about this book is that he is stranded on Mars for a year and a half, and in a year and a half he doesn't go crazy. He finds other stuff that his partners leave behind that he went to Mars with, and they left their stuff there on Mars. So he manages to use all of that stuff just so he can survive. He makes water. The author figures out all the scientific information and he puts it in story form, and it's the weirdest thing but awesome at the same time because you actually believe and you see him doing it. It's really amazing. So yeah, this is very high on my reads of 2015. Very, very, very good. I highly suggest it. I saw the movie. I can't even talk. This book is amazing, guys. I saw the movie in 3D and I waited I waited until it went out of the popular theater, and then I went to go see it because I wanted to finish the book. My God. Wow. That's all I have to say. To see it in movie form, I was sitting there like this. Oh my God, you know, and then the part where he gets saved, I was just like, you know, you read about it in the book. I kind of saw it a little bit, but you really don't understand until you see it on the movie. and it's awesome. Like, you don't think he's gonna make it, but in the book you're like, oh yeah, I know he makes it, but shit, you know? But just seeing that and his people or his team come back, they don't know how to save him. He's like, you know what, I can contact you, I can talk with you, I can talk you through this, and then you can save me. They're like, well, we don't know if that's the right idea. And he's like, just listen. And there's like certain parts where I was just like, I was laughing my what off, There's one part where he doesn't listen to NASA. It's the funniest thing because they don't have this part in the movie. I'm sorry. So what happens is he's like, you haven't told my team that I'm still alive on Mars. He's upset about this. He gets all pissed off and then he starts saying all this stuff. And then he's like, you shouldn't talk like that because you're talking with the president or whatever and you're on live TV. And he goes, oh yeah? And he goes, here's a pair of boobs. Oh man, that's the funniest thing. I was laughing reading the book. I don't know what page it's on. I do want to read this again. Great read. There's another part where, the ending part, where you don't think he's gonna make it. What happens is that they end up saving him. From reading in the book, you don't think it's gonna happen, but you know it's gonna happen when you read the movie, or when you see the movie, whatever. And I was very happy when I saw that he used his mind. He's traveling, he lets go of the thing that was bringing him back to the ship. And it's like this disc, and it's like, it has like a triangular point to it, and then it kind of goes down. So it's kind of like a little saucer. And that's the point that he needs to let go. That was the little thing holding him, and inside the compartment thing is like a chair that was holding him. And above him in the movie is like a hole. He goes through it, and we see that he comes out of it, and he leaves that behind. And he's like, you know what? He's talking to his team. He's like, I have an idea. He's like, Iron Man. And they're like, what? He's like, Iron Man, He's like, I'm gonna poke my suit so it gives it enough potential for me to fly like Iron Man. And he's like, they're like, okay, whatever, And he's like, Iron Man, and he pokes it, and he has like this, his suit kind of lets go of pressure, and he flies like Iron Man. It's the funniest thing. And in the movie, you're watching it, and you're like, oh my god. I was just like, oh my god. I was like, I hope he makes it. And you see the lady that's in charge of the ship and the team at the moment, and she's holding out her hand to him, and she's like reach for my hand. And it was like gut wrenching. It's like, is he gonna make it? Well, of course, I read the book, I know he's gonna make it, but but in the movie it's very different because you're like, hopefully they don't change it, hopefully it's the same, it's gonna happen, and it does. And he grabs her hand, they pull them in slowly. The lady is actually held on by a big rope that's on her back, and it's tied to her suit. And so the other guy that's kind of watching this pulls the rope thing back in, and he gets back onto the ship. Oh my god, great book, great movie. I have no words for this. It's just amazing, guys. I've really never read a book like this about space. It makes me want to read more sci-fi this year. Wow. 5 billion stars if I could give it. Great book, guys. Love it.